Well, welcome. I'm Electra Porzel. Um, what I wanted to talk about today was how we um, are being called into being differently in the world. One of the things that I've noticed is that there's a different energy in the world. Some of it seems dissonant, and some of it seems that it's stimulating us to move out of old habits and old ways of thinking and into new ways of being and thinking. And sometimes that's just not comfortable. People are asking, like, why is there so much violence in society? Why are our institutions failing us? Well, it's just, I don't know if I have an answer for that as much as to say it's probably time. Everything that we have thought we have, whether it's the way we think, it's the activities we've chosen to do, the way that our institutions are structured, they're all based on old ideas and old times and old energies. Um, it's true for the education system, it's true for the banking system, it's true in our politics. And it's time that we moved out of the old and into the new. Not so easily done and needed. If you are here, you probably are someone who is seeking a way to discover that more of yourself. I like to think that when we came into this life, we came to provide a certain kind of um, action or being state. Then we got socialized. And by the time a child's like 2 year old, too, they're socialized to the society that they um, were born into, which means in many cases we forget what we came here to be and do. As we age and we work in our own society and we become an adult and we have kids, we start to say, there's got to be more. There's more to this, I think, than doing what society's told me to do. There's more to it than even me being the best person that I think I can be. I think there's more. So in my case, this probably started in my 30s, maybe late 20s, and culminated eventually in me. Um, I think I went through several professions. One was I used to run nonprofit daycare center. Then I moved into the field of training. I was a corporate trainer. And then I moved into the healing world. And that's on one avenue of what I did. And then the other avenue was I really started looking at spirituality. So, and that spiritual search provided an opening into a different way of being with the earth, being with the land, being with others. So I developed celebrations for the different hinges of the earth, like the solstices and the equinoxes. I studied Native American spirituality. I studied and practiced Qigong. So there was all these pieces that were moving in my life. And at one point and they got woven in, and they got woven into the spiritual work, got woven into the healing practice, and the healing practice went into that work. So I ended up even creating a mentoring coaching system that I worked with people who had been the same kind of search that I've been in. And we are at a new place now because I think the energies, or my sense of it is, the energies of the earth are giving us a greater opportunity to think differently. But how do we think differently if what we're thinking with is everything that the world has taught us for the last 40, 50, 60, 70 years of your life? Well, the first thing that I do is I entertain different ideas. And I do that through reading, through watching videos, and through conversation. And when people work with me, I share what I know. And I would say to you, find people who want to be in exploration of different ideas with you, not judgmental people, not people who are going to tell you they have a position and you are wrong if you don't share it. They're definitely not the people you want. They're pretty smart. That would tell me that they were stuck in historic thinking. But I have done that, and I've created several groups that I have discussions with about ideas. Right now, I'm discussing Charles Einstein's ideas that he presented in a January blog, and I'm discussing the book Sand Talk by Tyson Yunkaporta. So what does that do? For me, it kind of lets me look at the facets, like the facets of a crystal. Or even it reminds me of the story of the blind men. You have to get all sides of the elephant and to know the whole elephant versus just feeling its tail or just its trunk or just its leg. And I think we have to do that. That's part of our responsibility. We want to widen the scope of what we recognize as present in the world, because what we perceive is determined a lot by what we have been trained to perceive. What we entertain as new and different information impacts our neural networks, and it gives us more choice options in those neural networks. So I'd say do that first. Then I would say it's time to start learning the templates of the language of creation. And why do I stick with that rule? The templates their form is that of the golden mean. And the golden mean is what is the base of construction of 99% of everything on Earth. So my suggestion, and I do that with people, I teach people how to use them in their lives, not just how to write them, but how to use them. It gives you the opportunity to write what you crave in your life, to redefine words and concepts that, don't work for you, to be in connection with creation, with your source, in a way that you haven't been, probably. One of the things that occurred in the United States since I was young was we went from being a country where most people went to some kind of church, usually a Christian church, in the morning on Sundays, to a country where most people don't go to church at all. So this relationship with this creative force that created Earth has been abrogated. And it's time for us to get back into a relationship with that so that we can get the support from that etheric dimensional field for this becoming of our original design, becoming of of who we want to be. So when I work with you, if you're my client, we're doing all of that together. Like, where do you want to go? I do energetic healing. I teach you the use of the templates. I walk with you with different tools that I have so that you are moving towards your goals, moving towards becoming the more of you that you probably don't even know yet. You have glimpses of her or him, but you aren't feeling, or that you operate in that being state. And as I work with you, I do a lot of the work up front for you, introducing you, guiding you, supporting you. And then you get a proficiency. So you're like, you have different people you're talking with. You're practicing the different tools that I've offered you. And you start recognizing not only your connection with creation, but also you recognize your own larger self, and that sense of that wisdom and what you are bringing to the world comes. So I am with you in that. And by the end, we've done a lot of fine tuning, and you're standing in a different place in how you be in the world. So you probably still have the same family. You probably, maybe still have the same job, but the being state is different. And when the being state is different, we know that we are thinking differently. So we're no longer thinking the thoughts of that were given us our lifetime. We are thinking our own thoughts and creating the new reality rising. And that's when we get involved with what are the changes that we can make for the larger society? Or how can we be a part of that so that this Western society has a chance to create a viable future for our coming generations? I have grandkids, and my whole life is about creating for them a world, or at least doing the beginning steps of it at this point, that they will have a world that nurtures them and sustains them and maintains them in vitality. And I do that for clients. I do it in the work that I am with them. And I try to provide that in the larger context of my life in the outside world. So in any case, I want you to just think about it. What is it to know, to think differently when all you've been thinking with is what you've been taught is real. What you've been taught is the truth. It's just a version, and it isn't what we perceive. Really is based on what we've been told is out here. When we start opening up to more, we start seeing that there's so much happening in the world that informs us, that helps us be our larger being, our original design, and helps us create a future for ourselves and for coming generations that will truly be the paradise that we have dreamt about. If you're interested in working with me, just email me at electra@electraporzel.com. And otherwise, think differently. Bye-bye.